Wow! Welcome back to another warm-up show. It's Tuesday, and we have, of course, Mr. Enortap back in the house today. Welcome, Mr. Bob Gailey is back in the house. No, the show is not over. We're just starting, by the way. So you still have 60 more minutes to talk about us. We are going to do something different tonight. What we talk about, Coach. You are welcome to talk to us live. We invite you. Click on the link I just put in, and let's talking about all the news. We have a lot of people back in the house today. Of course, we have to go all the way up, so maybe I will go very quickly about that. Mr. Adam, the swimmer, back in the house. Burger. Canadian Giant, Westmont, Montreal, bonjour. Comment ça va, mon homme? Bienvenue à bord. We have Kelly, directly from Ontario, Miss number one fans of the Toronto Maple Leafs. She's speaking French to me now. Comment ça va? Ça va très bien. Coach is really ready for the game tonight, so I'm in shape right now. Kelly, thanks to join us today. Adam Burger, Michael Rosenblatt. I believe Michael Rosenblatt was here earlier. So, Rosie, welcome aboard. I can't wait to see Bud Monkey the next couple of minutes. I have a couple of questions. We have Brayson, Villo, or what, something like that. Welcome aboard. And we have the duo, the tandem of Finland, Jamo Virtanen and Ville. Welcome aboard. Moi is in the Finland language, the hi. So we learn about that. Welcome aboard, both of you. And Michael Robinstein, welcome back, Mr. Michael Robinstein, the best, the GOAT of the Frenchy quiz. Just kidding. But he's a Mr. the Dog. I always love to see his emoji of the doggy in the chat. So thanks, Michael, to join us tonight. And finally, directly from Everett, he said about 100 years ago, the Seattle beat the Montreal Canadiens. Can the Seattle Kraken put another banners already? Number 2 banners on the top of the Pledge Arena, something like that. I don't know exactly the name, but I believe it's the Pledge Arena. Mr. Stratsik back in the house. From Moncton, New Brunswick, Johnny Golden. Come on down. I just love his name. When I see his name, I just feel like the price is right. So come on down, Johnny. Join us. Johnny. I just love it, this name about that one. But that's great. I have a couple of news for the Laval Rocket, Johnny, so don't go nowhere. Brisson, a lot of hockey tonight. Let's go. We have 7 games on the program. Canadian chance. Hi, Kelly. Franco Iacono. Welcome aboard, Franco. Number 1 for the Montreal Canadiens. Here we go. Who is Johnny? Johnny is from Moncton, New Brunswick. Sometimes we put him in St. John, New Brunswick, but I finally remember all the time. I put always in Moncton, New Brunswick, Kelly. And then he knows a lot about hockey, Johnny, and also we have a lot of memories about the old players. So he's a great analyst about hockey. Hey, boys, Adam Burger is right about mandatory reporting. Ultimately, this ended up with a kid getting molested because Chicago was completely irresponsible. So I go to Bob Barker, number 2. Bob Barker, yes, exactly about that. Kelly Johnny is a golden one legend. Oh, I love that one over there.
And of course, Coach, don't forget that Johnny has the best mother-in-law in the world, eh?
Johnny have the best mother-in-law. He loves her so much. He always talking about her positively. It's a negatively turned to a positively. When you talk about someone, it's always because you love that person. That's what I believe about this. But listen. That's the song for the breaking news without Canadian Live Show. So the Chicago Blackhawks with the owners, the son of the owners, honestly, the family words, announced today Stan Bowman, the general manager, is going to be step away or aside for the boss of the job. All this is fact or back in 2010 assault, sexual assault harassment you can call from the coach Aldrich. Now we announced the player today. It's a big Pickell. Is it Pickell or Picknell?
Bickle.
Yeah. So it was this player got assault and it was report about that, and then finally the NHL, well, not the NHL, but the report was out to the owners, studied by the owners, and the owners decide to move right away and forward and to learn about those experiences, return that, and mention everybody was involved in 2010 during that time, during the meetings, and you could be assistant coach or whatever was your job. Is still working with the Chicago Blackhawks today. You're going to be removed and out of the Chicago Blackhawks organization. The two people I want to mention to you today is Mizak. Mizak is a senior director of the VP Operation Hockey, and then the general manager, Stan Bowman. Both of them going to lose their job at that moment in 10. I believe is Davidson's going to be a GM at Ethereum at that moment over there. Now, I make a video about 1 hour, 90 minutes ago about that situation over there, because during that time, that meeting called in May 2010. They have other people was involved, the coaches and other assistant general manager and everybody else. What happening at that moment? Joel Canville and also Kevin Cheveldayoff, I believe his last name, for the general manager of the Winnipeg Jets, was there. There was employees by the Chicago Blackhawks. At that moment, they was there. Month ago, this story get out from TSN. One, I believe, is a guy who works for TSN, report that story about 2-3 months ago. You have to go in June or July. And a couple of weeks ago, a month ago, they interviewed Joel Canville and Kevin about that situation, if they knew about this when he was there, blah, 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 back in 2010. Both of them confirmed they was not involved or they never heard about this until the report was out on the social media. So they may be a little bit hiding the situation at that meeting 2010. That meeting 2010 got public today. And they put all the people was involved at that meeting. Two of them was, of course, Kevin and Joel Canville. Now, what we at with this situation is this part now, is the NHL is going to have an investigation about that situation. It's going through interviewing. I'm sure it's fun people, it's fun organization like Winnipeg and the Florida Panthers. And can they do something against that? Can they go too far? Or those organizations, the Florida Panthers and the Winnipeg Jets, can step up and say, you know what, we cannot keep those two people inside the organization. That's what the situation about that. My third thing behind that, during my video, is about 5 minutes. I suggest you to go see my video. Marc Bergevin. What Marc Bergevin? Marc Bergevin was assistant GM during that time in 2010. He was working with Bowman, but he was clear, and he have nothing to do with this story. They have about 7-8 other people. They are already by the NHL, by the investigation. They have nothing to do. They are clear. But me, I bring the point right now where Marc Bergevin, can he become the general manager of the Chicago Blackhawks? That's one of my questions today also with you. Can he leave the Montreal Canadiens and go with the Chicago Blackhawks? That's a lot of breaking news to cover, and we have about another 20 minutes to talk about this. This is about you. You can join us live. You want to ask questions, you want to talk with us, we open the line. And if you want to need the link to join us, we open up about this. Now, I don't talk anymore for the next 40 minutes. It's all Enortap now. Talk about this Enortap. Tell us a little bit more what you think. I will cover back after that, the chat, the people. So go ahead.
Yeah, definitely. Good evening, Coach, and good evening, Hockey Nation fans. It's a sad day today. I think that it's good that it's come to exposition, even though it's, 10, 11 years later. Unfortunately, you hate to hear about these things developing. I just hope that they take the right course of action. I believe Chicago was fined $2 million, which to me sounds like what, definitely not enough, and it doesn't do anything for the victims in this case here. Um, it's sad that these things have transpired. Definitely, you want to get to the bottom of it and see, where the chain of command was and who sort of tried to hide the situation. I think that's what Wirtz is trying to get to the bottom of. Bettman has called a meeting with some of the people that were involved um, from that time, and we'll see what comes of that. But you just pray for the victims that they're coping okay now, and that these sort of things we don't hear again in the future, because it definitely puts a black mark to hockey and the sport.
Yep. One thing I want to mention it's the Chicago Blackhawks at that moment they act right away. Something we have to be sure they didn't let the coach after that. They fire him right away at that moment when they knew about that. But they did not put this publicly, or they go through those to go through this. So that was something to bring about that. They have some conversation with some leader inside the players. If you turn that, they keep this inside. If you turn that, yeah, any other players went public with that story. I know Patrick Kane got a couple of questions. If you turn that, and they all keep this quiet during the investigation. Over 138 people, I believe, or 39, was interviewed during the investigation of that one over there. So it would be interesting. I heard the report is out on social media. So you have a couple hours to read those pages. You can read this. You can check about everything. That's what I heard couple of like 1 hour ago. Excuse me. We have a couple of things in the chat. First of all, yes, the game is late, Kelly, but we are not going to be late. Us, we're going to go all the way to the end. We're going to try to see the W for the Montreal Canadiens. Nicolas and also Nicholas are back in the house tonight. Nicolas, salut mon homme. J'espère que ça va bien, que tu avais une bonne pratique hier. Nicholas, welcome back from Sweden. It's just a joke about that one over there. Not that one also. See, the keyboard does not work today. The good news about this, the game at 10 o'clock, but the bad news is because at 10:22, Michael Robinson have to bring the dog out. So he's going to do missing a couple of minutes during the game. So maybe, Michael, you should put the dog before we get the game start. And between the period, maybe bring back the dog out.
So after.
Just that you know about that one over there, that would maybe helping you to not miss anything about that. Kelly, that's what's happening for tonight. And then we have also Roger said, listen, I'm going to watch one period and then I'm done after that. But you never know. Maybe the period is good. Maybe you're going to stay with us until the second. We're going to be live tonight at 9 o'clock p.m. We're going to do a mix of the Power Play show with the pre-game tonight. We'll talk about something about the league, of course, Chicago, everything like that. So we have a normal show, and then we're going to start the game at 10 o'clock. Michael Enortap as the Chicago GM. You confirm you got a job. Let's talk about the Edmonton Oilers, Duncan Keith. I don't know how they're going to go deep with the players, honestly. I don't know. But the two really people right now is honestly CANVA involved with that part over there. So it'll be something. NHL on the Hockey News report is in the house. So welcome.
Coach, I really hope that they do their due diligence with all of this, because if they're just playing the game and trying to just get ahead of the story right now, nothing is going to be achieved here. I think that they have to really. I agree with the comment that I saw from Striatic that they need to look at players that were involved at that time and interview them as well and see, just how deep is this, and those people need to be held responsible for their actions.
Yeah. You have a question here. I want to answer, but yeah. By the way, fantasy hockey KK is on the waiver list. So if you want to get Kokanemi, you can maybe pick him right now. Just let you know for each one of you. Michael have a good question. How could Bergevin not know about this? Is not indirectly involved. So what happening about this, Michael? During that meeting in May 2010, Marc Bergevin was not at the meeting over there. He was excluded for any reason, maybe traveling, he was maybe scouting, he was, I don't know exactly. But when they interviewed him, he honestly we gave all the answer, what he knew, what happening, everything like that. So what he hear, everything like that. So what after, during the investigation, at the end of this investigation happening, some people was around the team was clear. So they have no, and you know, involved with something, or he could be accused, or he could have something happening. He was involved with the players or whatsoever. So some people works with the team at that moment. They have nothing to do with the situation and everything like that. The problem with Canville and Kevin is they lie, affect, like they did not know anything until the report get out. And unfortunately, it was not true. It was part of the meeting in 2010. And that's why maybe the NHL can have some repercussion on those people over there. So that's maybe the best answer I can give you about Bergevin, about that. Now, can he hear that? Pretty sure. Now, the investigation maybe ask him, did you hear about that situation in 2010? Did you? Then that's what maybe he give you the right answer. So some people right now, for what I know, they are not involved or they have some repercussion about that one over there. The Blackhawks have instructed the council to reach out the victim with a settlement, but we're going to have to do that anyway. But at least the Blackhawks will pay more than $2 million. So yes, exactly about this, Riatic. But I think I would say to you, I like the fact that Chicago Blackhawks, the owners, that, talk about this and they want to act, they want to help, and they are responsible, and they don't want to hiding or accuse. So now they're already forward. They already talk about this. Now the report is out and they confirm and the investigation is over. So I like the fact that the owners of the team talk about this and they know what they have to do. And the first thing they did is to cut. Everybody was involved in 2010 at that moment. Because remember, I don't know why that time the owner did not was involved with that. So I don't know why. But that's the reason the $2 million coming from those something like that. Après ça, c'est, do you know who is the goal for Kraken? I know Alan. It should be Gruber, but it's not confirmed yet. It was likely Gruber about 3:30 today. Since that, I did not look. I don't know it's confirmed somewhere else. But the only thing I saw was Philip Gruber. I believe, honestly, it would be him. The Kraken did not play Saturday night, and then also he's the only one. The next goaltender is Dakar. So I don't see they would put Dakar about that. Petit, OK, tu écoutes le hockey en français ou en anglais? Bon, normalement, je l'écoute en anglais, là, mais je reste aux États-Unis. Mais je fais les deux, en français et en anglais, ça dépend. Coach, my dog are listening. All right, so hopefully they can click on the like. That'd be awesome. Hi, guys, miss you night now. Stephen member, welcome back, buddy. I'm very busy in Stockholm, man. Hopefully you're doing well, Stefan. We miss you also. Next time, no problem. Your buddy Nicholas is in the house. Here we go. Hola, y'all. Directly from, that's a mix of South American. Y'all is more about the Mississippi state and USA. Y'all, hey, y'all. And also hola is from Spanish. So it's a mix, and plus he's a Finland. So I don't know all the three. But Andy Kuivula, welcome back, buddy. Thanks, Coach. Clearing up about Bergevin. Is the Clenavis the logical guy to go to the gym there? Yes, it is. Thing with the Hawks player is left the cover up for me. They are not in great position to be without proof. His report almost practice it was actually involved. That could happen about this, honestly. That report, Stratic was not involved with that part, was not targeting that area, but it could happen, I'm sure, about that. Look, those kind of players have been together for years and years. After that, at least 9 or 12 of them for sure. About that. Stop motion, Panthers Studios directly from Ottawa, number one fans of the Ottawa Senator and the Dallas Star. Back in the house, he said, hi, Coach, hi, Enortap. Yep, possible, strategic after that. Possible, honestly, I don't know. Go, did you see this? Nicholas Papa Fillers and 5 7 I don't know. That's Sweden. I don't know, but according to report, Montreal Canadiens defenseman Shea Weber is retiring. Report have surfaced from one of his teammates saying, yep. So what happening today? Jonathan Drouin reconfirmed this is over for Shea Weber. Now he become a little bit a scout for the Montreal Canadiens during the winter time. He's with the team for the next 2 days or the 2 days together, and just reconfirmed today by Jonathan Drouin during an interview. He's going to be retired, so I'm sure the word is between the, you know what I mean, like not publicly, but between players, everything like that. They feel, they know the feeling of what they see from Shea Weber. This is over. This was the last game, and if you come back and again, Tampa, the last game, the way the player was around him, the way the feeling, all the emotion around Shea Weber, and see Shea Weber on one knee for long minutes, they knew at that moment this was over. I'm pretty sure Shea Weber mentioned this as some people close to him. That could be the end of the end for him. So that's what happened. But a great Adam to bring this to us on the table. Jerry, hello, Coach. Are you going to be watching a double header tonight? We're going to be live, Jerry. Don't go nowhere. Stay back with us tonight. Live stream at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 08, the game start. No problem. Nicholas, so this story might affect the Florida Winnipeg now. You nail it, buddy. That's what could happen. And now, Steven talk and someone in other language. I need a translator. That's all I have to say about Chicago now. That until there are more info, I don't want to hear about the Kraken and the Abs a lot. Yeah, what do you expect for the game tonight, Stratsik? What do you think about the opening night? Again, because we did not see you since last week, Stratsik. Tell us more what your expectation with something like that. Jerry now speaks Spanish. Here we go. We are international here. Pretty bad game on behalf of the Star yesterday. The last by the score. Is it 3-2 in Enortap?
I believe so.
4-1 against Columbus. 4-1. I apologize about that. And now Villeneuve stuck to speak Sweden. So now they are all Sweden about that. Who will be the captain in Montreal?
We're multicultural.
Yeah. Who would be the captain in Montreal? I believe it would be Gallagher if it's happened. I don't think so. It will happen until the end of this year. So the upcoming year, I believe it will happen. Shea Weber, I think, deserves first ballot Hall of Fame.
Shea Weber?
Yeah.
It's possible. It's possible. I could see it.
It could happen, but I'm not sure I'm 100%.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not sure, but it could happen. As PR quickly issued statement said, Weber has not retired. He's still getting paid by the insurance company, so it's a problem. He's claimed injury, but really retired. So here's the problem behind for everybody for clarify that one over there. He is on the injury long reserve. The salary cap go to Montreal Canadiens. They drop $7.8 million. That's not a problem. Now, what happening is this. If he decides tomorrow to be retired without injury, the Montreal Canadiens take out the money they have to pay for him, plus the salary cap of 7.8 for the next many years after today. I don't know exactly, maybe 3, 4, 5, I'm not remember, right? Now they have nothing to do. The problem is the Nashville, when they make a trade, the Nashville Predators have to pay $4.8 million or $4.9 million salary cap until, if he decides to retire, until the end of the contract. And that's what involves right now the NPHL, the lawyer, the NHL, the Nashville Predator, to clarify that if they can, let it go, the salary cap, everything like that. So at that moment, I think it was a great trade for Marc Bergevin thinking that way because that opened up the salary cap. So that's the situation about him, Franco. And that's the reason the Montreal Canadiens PR talk right away about that because they want to be sure they not mess up the injury with the situation about is the salary cap for both teams. Your recap video on the Chicago situation should get a lot of view, Coach. Hopefully Hopefully that'll be good. I'm afraid to predict the Vegas got scored tonight. I hope it's not 7-1. I don't think so, but I think it'll be like a 3-4 goals France at some point. Nicholas, why did not they select a captain before the season if they already knew Weber is forced to retire? Because, just what I said to you. Because if he decides to be retired, now that changed completely the different thing about that. And Nashville Predators get penalized a lot for that, and they don't want to do this. So they try to have an agreement between and then the money now is the company insurance pay him. And honestly, he have all the documentation to say he cannot play right now as a hockey player injury. That's what they are. But the speculation and what the people thinking, like Marc Bergevin said, a long shot, you don't see Weber to come back as a return in hockey. We have to learn Swedish and Finland, and I still cannot speak a lot. Here we go. So it's like here we have to speak French, you have to speak English. We'll try to learn. I think it's a very close game. It could go to OT, where anyone could win. The Kraken improved a lot going into the Canucks game, finally play a proper NHL style of hockey. It was a great game. As Stratic, I think they did not close the game. I think they could close the game. But they did not, and but that game could be 3-2 at the end for the Kraken or 3-1 against Vancouver. They let it go, but I think tonight will be another low score, I believe. Hello, everyone. How are you, Butter Monkey in the house? We have a lot of questions for Butter Monkey. We wait for you for the last 29 minutes. Roger Denny said the Avs go to win 5-2. Zuski Caulfield get first goal. I like these comments. I feel the last game, they have a lot of chance. You have a lot of percentage between them. They cannot do it, but I feel they can do that. I will not be surprised. I will take a pre-game nap before. Yes, you have to. But a monkey, no. Yes, I see now coach was not aware of that. Not a problem, Nicholas. That's what we do here. We try to bring you or clarify what we need to learn about that. Je suis très champignon. Je suis très champignon. It's a French halfway, I believe. Champignon, I don't know, but maybe je suis très champion, ou je sais pas. But I don't know, understand everything about that. So I go through everything. We have 30 minutes, and we did not start the show. And Enortap said 7 words since the beginning of the show. So let's moving out about all the news. We have a lot of news. We'll talk about the fantasy. We have to wrap up 7 games in 7 and 30 minutes. Maybe my friend is not so good. I like that one. Maybe you need some listen from me I believe about that. So let's dive in about this. Here we go. What I said here, guys, 9 o'clock tonight, Coach Frenchy will be back in the house, so don't go nowhere. I look forward to see you tonight at 9 o'clock. We can talk about different things. Let's move on with it. We just talk about this in our time. We don't think so. We need to talk more about that season. As you said, Carl Davidson is the new one entering about that one over there. The next one I want to talk is happening 30 minutes before we go live. The news is Ross Johnson got an extension of 4 years, I believe, at 1.1 million AAV. He's a player play for the New York Calendars, like on the bottom 6, everything like that. Anything you want to add in Enortap? Enortap, you mute because I click on the mute. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, it's just saying I'm a little bit confused by this signing, to be honest with you, or this extension. But I guess it's maybe just for depth purposes.
I've been honest with you. Why? Because Komarov.
Oh, okay.
That's the reason why. Yeah, you are very mushroom. Yes, that's what the transaction is right there about that. I agree with you about this. You just need to know about said. Here we go about that. That's what I said. Here we go. The next news I want to talk about this is injuries. So the Coyotes yesterday, they lost the goaltender. Maybe it's a good news for them also. But Carter Hutton was out for 2 or 4 weeks. He left after the first period. But the Monkey disappeared right away, by the way. But the Monkey tell us about the game. I think this is in case Klogelberg. Clutterbuck retired. That's another great move about this, Butter Monkey. I agree with you. Great comments about that. So he's going to be out. Talking about this, he was not the only one. It's during the third period, the defenseman or the forward Timmins, the defenseman Connor Timmins also be out of the ice second period yesterday. I said the third or second by Radko Kudos. It was not a bad check. It was the hip. It was an unlucky injury, unfortunately. 8 to 12 weeks, my friend, with a lower body injury. Talk about a knee, maybe. That's what happened to him. So, two players the same game lost for the Coyotes. About that. Stratic maybe can get this. Have four excellent goalie performance on the road without enough elite shooting and overcome. They have only 2.17 goal for. That's the problem they have about that one over there. And now we see that since the Nashville. I agree with you about this. Go Abs, go. And then back in the house. Percolate and finish ensemble. Merci mon bureau, mon ami. Mon bureau maintenant. Merci mon ami. Mon bureau is desk, but it's not the same thing. Giordano goal tonight. We'd love to see the goal. The captain score a goal. He scored the last game, by the way, if I can record it. This is another news we mentioned. I have all the news about that one. And the big situation about this guy is the COVID-19. The Blues captain, Rand O'Reilly, placed on the COVID-19 protocol list and joined the Brandon Saad on the unvoided vacation. Talking about the Hawks guy, talking about the bad news over there, we have to add Patrick Kane, Jonathan Toews, Buckstrom, the three assistant coach, and I miss another player. All of them have the COVID-19 protocol 19. So I don't know what kind of lineup they're going to go tomorrow. Sometime in NHL Enortap, they have also a 24 hours. Sometime the next day, they are back negative. It will be really interesting what can turn around. This is maybe the second team after the Winnipeg Jets got a couple of players with protocol 19, COVID-19. It would be interesting to follow the story about that one over there. Weinberg a goal tonight. That'll be awesome. About that, when I ask you, I'm ready now. So what happened about Joel Kenville, Mr. Badamonkey? What do you think will happen for him? Do you believe the Florida Panthers is going to lose their captain, everything like that? Do you believe it's happened or not? So the time I would prefer click on that one. And now, Mr. Enortap, it's all of you. Because now we're going to go to the 7th game tonight. So let's talking about those games. And let's start with the Calgary, New Jersey.
Well, yesterday, Calgary kind of shocked me. They had a very convincing win in New York against the Rangers. Just when it looked like the Rangers were starting to put things together. And this is still with a couple players not scoring with the same proficiency that they usually do. Like Monahan's been very quiet. It's even Kachuk hasn't really been himself lately. So that was impressive last night. But now they're on a back-to-back, and they're playing a Devils team that likes to play a very tight, defensive-minded, low-scoring style of game. The Devils have only allowed 10 goals to date in the 4 matches that they've played. And Wedgwood is back tonight as well. So they probably, in my opinion, will capitalize on a bit of a tired Calgary team. And I took Calgary to win this game. Actually, no, not Calgary. Sorry, New Jersey to win this game 3-2.
New Jersey 3-2. I go with New Jersey 4-2.
Okay.
Tampa Bay, Pittsburgh, revenge. Game number 2 between both of them. We know what happening at the opening night of the season, October 12th. The Pittsburgh completely shocked the world and hockey world, winning 6-2, I believe. What do you think about this game tonight?
Well, it's a usual story for poor Pittsburgh right now. Maybe I shouldn't be using the word poor since they're doing well. We know that the situation with their missing players, Crosby, Malkin, Rust, Carter, Letang now added to that list. Tampa Bay has been struggling, definitely. But I think yesterday was more of a situation where they it was a letdown for them. I think they were looking ahead to this game and kind of underestimated Buffalo. Then it's the classic trap game. I expect Tampa Bay, even though it's on a back-to-back, to come out much stronger tonight and get the necessary win that they need with Vasilevsky back into in net. I think they'll win this game 4-3.
Also, we have a couple of people. Andy said Pittsburgh 5-3. Which team you said, Tampa?
I took Tampa, yeah.
I go with Tampa, and I see 3-2. You said 4-3 tonight. Andy says 5-3 Pittsburgh. Calgary 3-2, Kelly said. Pittsburgh will win, Kelly said. Tampa played last night. Andy said New Jersey 3-1. That's what we got. Also, we forgot to say welcome to Mark Zuck. So welcome, Mark. I apologize between all the certain thing happening. So welcome back, buddy. Tampa 0 win in the regular times this year. You're absolutely right. And I'll be honest with you guys, that game was like another game was I'm not sure if I should go with Pittsburgh, but you're absolutely right about that. Game number 3 of the evening. Vegas Golden Knights against the Colorado Avalanche. You guys, you can put your score right there.
Well, Coach, here's the classic teams here that are trending in opposite directions. We have Vegas that's kind of reeling right now, and they're desperately looking for any type of scoring with all their injuries. Defense has kind of gone AWOL so far this year for them. Colorado's trending in the right direction. They finally started. If you look at Colorado's schedule since the beginning of the year, they've played some challenging teams, some tough teams. So that could help explain their record to date. But the nice thing is that, with McKinnon coming back, and he's finally looked like in the last game anyways, he started to become more of himself. I sort of expect these trends to continue tonight, and I'm going to take Colorado to win this game 4-1.
All right, so we have Indy at 4-1, 4-2. We have Colorado, Vallejo said 5-2. Tampa, Ellen said Tampa is going to lose tonight. Ellen, I have a question for you. Are you going to stay awake for the game tonight? Are you going to say hi tonight? Because Enortap, she is like 1 hour, I think 1 hour after, before us, like Johnny Golden. So when the game starts at 10 o'clock, it's 11 o'clock over there. And maybe she's at midnight. I don't know if she's 1 or 2 hours, but we'll be interesting to see her over there. You said you go with Avalanche. You're absolutely right. One thing I want to share to you is, Vegas is banked up with a lot of injuries. I didn't mention about the Stone story about that. They put Patrick on the long-term injury right now, so it'll be interesting to see that. For night, because I said 5-2 also. I walk night. Here we go. So I don't know if it's good news. You have a chance watching the game. Ellen, that'd be great. And, one thing, McCarr have 2 assists the last game. McKinnon have 3 points the last game. So I believe. And then, they start with McKinnon on the COVID-19 for 2 games, I believe, or 3. Then you got also Lestagar with 2 games suspended. They are a little bit behind, right? So I think you're absolutely right when you mentioned they now get their groove back, and I think that'll be good enough for them. San Jose, Nashville, the Goldeners are confirmed for Reimer. Zeros was likely, but I'm pretty sure it would be between the pipes. San Jose 4-1-0, Nashville 2-4-0.
And San Jose has been very stingy on defense, and at the same time, they've managed to score 19 times in 5 games, which is quite good for them. This is usually enough to earn a victory for you on any given night, especially when you're playing a Nashville team that's allowed 19 goals in 6 matches, and at the same time have only scored 17 times themselves. So while the Sharks will regress as the season progresses, in my opinion, I think that Nashville, has not really shown me much to select them. So I'm going to take the Sharks to win this game 3-1.
All right. Jump on Joe. You talk about Joe Thornton scored a goal yesterday. He said he played better when the beach is around. Absolutely right about that. About this. Predator Andy Koivula said Predator is going to win 3-2 tonight. And then Bad Monkeys, Jumbo Joe have the same number, the goal as Marner and Matthews. Sharks 3-1.
Yeah.
Sharks 3-2. So that's what happened. Jerry said Calgary 5-3 over 5-3 Calgary win. Pittsburgh win 3-2. Colorado 4-1. San Jose 3-1. And then he said 2-1 Minnesota. Winnipeg win tonight 3-2. And Montreal big win 5-2. Very interesting to see that about this. Canucks versus the Vancouver. Minnesota lost the last game, their first of the season. Vancouver win against the Kraken. They are 3-2 home. They play at home. And what are your expectations for that game?
Well, Minnesota's coming off, in my opinion, a very disappointing loss to Nashville, 5-2. I really didn't expect that at home, where I think they took perhaps Nashville a little bit too lightly in that game. I would expect them to sort of play much more aggressively today and really take it to the Canucks and Demko, even though Vancouver is finally returning at home now. They played, I think, 5 or 6 in a row on the road. But if you look at the teams that they've played, namely like Chicago, Buffalo, Detroit, I think Seattle, Philadelphia, they weren't difficult opponents for them. So in this game here, I'm expecting Minnesota to really come out and pull this out. It'll be a close game. I probably can see it going to overtime, but I think Vancouver will win it 4-3 in overtime.
Kelly Sawal and also Andy Sawal 3-1, 4-2. And then Jerry said 2-1 also for that game over there. Johnny said, game started at 11 o'clock, so I have to get some coffee and also some Red Bull to stay alive. And Valentino Abs said, go Abs, go. We know how much he loved the Montreal Canadiens. Valentino, welcome aboard about this. But this is the first time we are not agree. I'm going with the Minnesota Wild. For some reason, I said 5-3. So I think this game could be over. That's the reason why. Talbot should be between it was not confirmed, but Demko was confirmed for the Vancouver Canucks. So that was the game about that. Andy Covillo, he said also 3-2 for the Montreal Canadiens tonight against the Seattle Kraken. Now we have to go to Winnipeg Jet and Anaheim. Anaheim struggled a bit the last 2 games at the start of the season on the right foot. And then on the Winnipeg Jet, they start not on the right foot, but now they are looking better. It's all about Kyle Corner. We know Sheffley and Wheeler, they missed a couple of games. I don't know about the status quo about Sheffley, but the Winnipeg are 2-2-1, and I am 2-3-1. What are your expectations? Both goaltenders are confirmed.
Yes, I think he's out again tonight. Shifley might be missing, but it's good to see that Winnipeg's finally getting some secondary scoring. As you mentioned, guys like Connor and Dubois, even Cobb has stepped up, and their defense, both Morrissey and Piontek, have been very, very solid so far. Hellebuck has been improving. He was average at the beginning, but now he's really put in a couple of good games. And Anaheim just, I don't know. I don't think that they have what it takes to hang around with them too long. They might be able to play a period with them, but they just lack that offensive production to keep pace with them. So I'm going to take Winnipeg to win this game. I believe it's a revenge game for them as well. 5-2.
All right. 4-2 for me. That's a good thing. Adam said Kaprizov played very well. He did not score, but he has 6 or 7 assists, I believe, for Kaprizov at that moment. So you're absolutely right. And Gator said, I will get 2 win on the road in the row. So that's Gator. Gator, by the way, Florida Panthers. What do you think about Kenville? Do you believe he's going to lose his job or he's going to be fine at the NHL, or the Florida Panthers not going to remove him over there? Definitely the last game of the night, of course, Montreal Canadiens versus Seattle Kraken. The Seattle Kraken maybe celebrate the Stanley Cup 1919. Like Stratic said, they are 1-4-1. After they got a first W, after that they struggled more and more, gave a lot of goals. Maybe what Montreal did whatsoever. Montreal won the last game against the Detroit Red Wings by a score 6-1. Perrault have 3 goals. David Rack finally scored his first goal with the team. Ben Chariot also have another goal for the Montreal Canadiens. So Mike Hoffman scored on power play. The power play scored the last 2 games, but he gave a lot of goals on power play. Two teams have an average of 1.67 goals for the Montreal Canadiens, 2.17 for the Seattle Kraken. Both teams struggle on the scoring, and both teams struggle to give a goal. So what your expectation about that game, honestly?
Well, I said before the Detroit game, Coach, if you recall, I said I think in the next 5 games, I have to try to aim for going 3-1-1 at least. They started off with a victory in Detroit, and hopefully that monkey's off their back. And it looked like they were getting, more involved in the game. The effort seemed to be a lot better. There were still a lot of turnovers, sorry, that I witnessed, but overall it was much better. And I think that this game is going to be critical for them. They have to win this to get to that 3-1-1 prediction that I made earlier. It's important for Montreal, I think, to go into Seattle, especially on this night, and score that first goal. I think that if they can dictate the play, it makes a huge difference, because if you let Seattle score 1 or 2 right off the bat, just based on the momentum and based on the energy that the crowd will obviously offer up, it's going to be difficult for them to come back from this. But I think that Montreal will pull it out, and they'll win this game 4-2.
3-2 for me for the Montreal Canadiens. About that one today. We have a couple of breaking news. Adam said Stan Bowman just announced he's going to be, he decided to step down of the GM of the Olympic team. So Bowman be out. But Monkey ask you, how many points do you believe Sam Bennett is going to get next season?
Oh, this season. I know he's gotten off to a great start. I think he's in the neighborhood of around 50 points maybe.
Yeah, I always said to you about 60 points, 55 to 65 over there. I think it would be that one over there for me. 25 goal, 30 goal, and another 30 points, so 25 points. So 55, 60 points would be the word I'm looking for him. About that, Ellen says Shea Weber is aboard. He's around, so that we give them some confidence. Al is winning. That's the prediction of Ellen. On the flip side, Kelly said the Shadow win tonight 2-1. I believe that game will be a low score for sure. Will Kafilowski score tonight? Johnny Colden said, I would not be surprised one of the 2 score tonight. And Dixon said earlier, fast away. By the way, Will Dixon, welcome aboard. He said the final score 4-2 Montreal, and Caulfield scored a goal for them tonight. So Nicolas said 4-2 for Seattle. Nicolas lost confidence about Montreal Canadiens. Just kidding, Nicolas. He expects 4-2. If you go over Coach, or under, Adam said watching OV warm up and taking those shots from the right corner where he's always scored from. Wow, he does have a hard shot. You're absolutely right about that one over there. He has always been a great power shot on that one for sure. About that. So this concludes our score for tonight. Enortap still.
Coach,
go ahead.
I just want to add. It's good to see, like with Montreal going on the road, it sort of takes a little bit of pressure off, because, as you know, the media in many Canadian cities, but especially Montreal and Toronto, can be relentless at times. Going on the road, and yesterday they were not all of them, but a good majority were seen with Shea Weber at the football game, the national football game in Seattle. You get an opportunity for a lot of team bonding as well. And so hopefully this will turn the tide around for the Habs.
Well, this is the first trip together, by the way. So there's, like some players, they have a lot of players did not know each other. You talk about Sabres, I talk about Hoffman, talk about Pocket, talk about Perrault, And, so
Perro.
you have a lot of players inside. Niku is a part of that one over there. And then you have Whiteman also part of that one. You know what I mean? So you have a lot of players join the team. They don't have no kind of the team bonding you just said. The second thing you talk about pressure, the key is like when you live in Montreal, whatever your hockey player, you hear this everywhere at the gas station, at the shopping, at the mall, at the restaurant. Everybody will ask you, "Hey, what's going on?" They will question the players. So for them to be out, I think there's a great point about this. And the fact I think Ellen said also, she will be around, and I think they will play for the captain tonight. I think they will push a little bit more for them. So I believe overall that's a good way to this. That's the reason Montreal, I believe, we will win tonight. I agree with you. And welcome back, finally, Mr. Bucker, my Reggie Vlog, directly from British Columbia. Salut, coach. Salut, mon régent. Ça fait longtemps qu'on t'a pas vu. Jerry said that Montreal would not lose on their first road trip. That's the most important thing for me for this trip is to win the first W, the first game. I think that we carry on a little bit more with the momentum for the rest of the trip. And they have to play for 500. And a loss against them will be hard to accept that. And I think that would be good for Montreal to get back-to-back, like Kader said earlier, back-to-back game. I think that would be good for them. I think the Abs got a lot of confidence last game. That's the comment from NT. Canadiens said Abs will continue what they left on Saturday, so I pick Abs 6-1.
Wow, that's good.
I
don't think so, but
on the flip side, Seattle gave a lot of goals at least 2 or 3 games this year. They got scored 6-7 goals at least one or two times in Ottawa.
yeah, and it goes back to what I was saying. I think if you can get that quick lead on them and then continue to play your style, bring it to them, it's going to be hard for them to shut anything down because they have to change their style and try to get back into the game. So, as much as I don't think it'll be 6-1, I mean, the possibility is always there.
Yep. And again, I don't see this happening, to be honest with you. I feel like that would be a low score. Both they don't score a lot of goals. So, they lost 6-7 game goal in Ottawa. Again, the team can score. It's not like Montreal cannot score right now. So I don't see they will score 6 goals, whatever they did against Detroit. They're on the road. Kraken play home. They have the 15,000 people screaming for them. It's another, the circumstance around is different for them. So I don't see they would push hard. They want the first W for the fans. They want to get a W. And why not to get, again, the best team, not the best team, but the team who have the most history. They have to bring back the 1999. They would do another push. They would put the banner up. So you can see all the kinds of stuff, they fill up, they fuel up the motivation behind everything, and also the excitement for the game. So I think that would be good. My question is how many fans for the Montreal Canadiens, not from Montreal, but around. You have a big base of popular Montreal Canadiens fans in Vancouver. How many of them would be in Seattle Kraken game? That would be what I'm looking for tonight. And Stratic about a point about Joe Doe. It's happened today. I saw the comments about this. Some players maybe have to have some questions to see about that one. Where we'll see what the investigation talk about this. But you're absolutely right. Stratic about that one over there. The player needs some answer. Nicholas said that Montreal must try to take advantage of the lacking defensive zone coverage shuttle from the start if they don't long night for them. You're absolutely right about this. The first goal could be important, but it's not going to be the end of the world if they don't score the first goal because Seattle usually don't score a lot of game. But on the road, it's another kind of coaching style. You don't have the last word. Your line maybe play again another line over there. And the second line is better than the first line for the Seattle Kraken on my eyes. So we'll be really interesting about this. Before we leave, we have a couple more minutes. Give us your prediction of your fantasy hockey tonight.
Okay, I went heavy with Winnipeg and Colorado here today. In net, I went with Connor Hellebuck. On defense, Makar from Colorado, and also Pionk of Winnipeg. And the forwards, Nathan McKinnon and Kyle Connor And I think Pierre-Luc Dubois will continue his hot streak.
Awesome. I went with Ratanen because you took McKinnon. I went with Tisfan Plage because you took Connor. What I like him a lot. I go with Tom Mayer. Mayer has 8 points so far, 3 goals, 5 assists. Kaprizov, I believe tonight he scored his first goal of the year. Mikal with you, but I took Carlson. I think Carlson is doing well since the beginning of the year. Carry on. I think the San Jose Sharks, and then I go with Cooper. Cooper, I think that will be the W for them tonight. So that will be my selection for the month for the my fantasy hockey. I not forgot, guys, but I did not do the fantasy what you should go for tonight. Who is hot or cold? I was too busy with Chicago afternoon, so I apologize for that one over there. So I'll be back tomorrow. This is only me and Enortap to mention what we think those kind of players can have point tonight. On the flip side, the next what I usually do is who is on the hot streak and who is really cold streak, and they play the same evening. So that's a bit different. But I just want to share with you about that one over there. Let's back what we had at the beginning of the show. Answer to some people over there. Nicholas said that. Adam said, did Edmondson make the trip? No, Edmondson, about that is he is at the Montreal right now, practice alone, skating alone. He's on the practice training for back on the shape. Expect him November 2nd or again Detroit or the following game after that. I don't know if they play Thursday or Saturday, but it will be the 4th or the 6th. But Edmondson is going to be part of the Montreal Canadiens lineup at the first week of November. So that's what happened about this. Laval news, what happened about this? Adams, Edmondson stay at home. Adam, I think Ed still in Montreal. Everybody knows this is going on. Laval news, coach. The news I want to mention to you, great news about Rand Poland for the injury is looking great. 50-50 to play the next game. I believe they play tomorrow night. If not, he's going to play during the weekend. So Rand Poland is going to be back in the lineup for the Laval Rocket. Good for him. He missed a couple of games. That's it, 7 or 10 days. That's a great news about him over there. Norlander back on the ice a little bit. And Biron continues to be reestablished for injury. Laval Rocket. And they have a great article today about McNiven. Is it a goaltender, McNiven?
Yes.
Have a really long, open interview talking about what he feel about what's going on. So it's in French, I believe, but when you go on the rds.ca, you can turn this in English. So that's a good way. I believe if you are follow the Montreal Canadiens, I suggest to follow always rds.ca. And when you you open up the link, they would ask you put this in French or in English. You have a lot of good news about this, so you can see the same thing I read every day in French. It's more in English. Unfortunately, the videos they are in French, but everything writing and they are in English in both language. So that's what happened about this. Niku need to stay away from the podcast. Oh, by the way, talking about this, I'm going to go 9 o'clock, but I mentioned tonight. Jake Evans is out for the lineup. Is Cedric Paquette back in the lineup? It's a minor injury for Jake Evans. So I just want to mention this. Of course, at 9 o'clock, I will bring this to you. And the next 15 minutes, when I'm out here, you're going to see the pregame video from the Hockey National Show. Is going to be right away when I'm done here. That'll be over. Dixon, welcome back, buddy. Weber was walking good, but him on, yes, I saw that over there. He was a nice picture of him, everything like that. Enortap, your last word, just excuse me, what do you expect for tonight? Any specific game you're looking for, or anything you want to add?
Yeah, well, I'm definitely being a homer. I'm looking at the Montreal and Seattle game. I'm very curious to see if we can continue our winning ways. I'm also looking forward to that Minnesota Vancouver game. That was probably the hardest pick for me to make. The only reason I went with Vancouver in overtime is because I think they're playing at home and they've had a couple days off, so they should be ready. But we'll see. The other games will be interesting as well, but those are the two in particular for me.
I'm already at tomorrow night, Toronto, Chicago. Just kidding. But I think it would be interesting. I wish the Vegas was the full lineup, because I think it was the game of the evening. It would be Vegas, Colorado. Unfortunately, they are not there. I think you nail it with Minnesota, Vancouver. Two teams are good, and I think they have a lot to prove. And Vancouver play home. That would be interesting. Minnesota lost the last game, so game to follow. Of course, the Seattle Kraken and Montreal Canadiens. And I want to thank each one of you. This was the most viewers of the since we did the show, the warm-up show tonight. So don't forget, guys, to click on the likes. We appreciate your collaboration. And we open up the line now at 5 o'clock every day. You're welcome to come to join us live. We invite you to participate not only on the chat, but come to us. We're going to go that way over there, and you can join us right here in the middle between me and Enortap. And you can ask any question. You can talk to us live with us, and it would be a pleasure for us to talk to you guys. That's not a problem. And the key of the success of this show is you. It's not us, it's you. So I just want to remind you, but a lot of great stuff over there. We wish you an amazing, great night. We just want to remind you, 9 o'clock p.m., the pregame show, 1 hour. And just because we're going to talk about Sventing, and then we're going to go a little bit watching the game, what's going on in NHL from 7 o'clock until 9. And then we're going to prepare the preview of the game at 10 o'clock. And Coach Frenchy will be here until 1 o'clock tonight. And, of course, not a Red Bull, but we're going to be awake enough to keep talking all the way over there. Going to check, just listen about Nicholas, going to check in on Calgary, New Jersey. That's another one I would like to see for sure before the game. Johnny says Seattle beat Montreal for the Stanley Cup in 1917. Yeah, absolutely right. That the banner is going to be up tonight. I will not be surprised. Vele will say, bye, guys. You guys go to bed right now. For all the people, Sweden and Finland, it's late. And take a nap for about 4 hours and come back for the game tonight. And, of course, Auntie Covillo said, I can practice my French language skill. Of course, Mr. Auntie, we can answer to you. And you can talk about champignon. Mushroom anytime will be there. Ellen Keefe said, I hate to admit Leaf beat the Blackhawks. They are playing worse than the Leaf. Absolutely right about this, Ellen. But I'm sure you was happy last night when you see the final score of the Carolina against the Toronto Maple Leaf. We think about you.
Coach.
Yep.
Coach, do you know in Ontario how we know it's autumn? The leaves keep falling.
You deserve that one over there. Coach, were you at the game the last time Seattle won the cup? No, I was not there, but if someone inside the chat could be there, it was maybe you, Johnny. Just kidding, buddy. Take care, Nicholas People. See you later, Roger Delaney. Auntie Covillo. Awesome, everybody. Enortap, always great to having you. We love you. You always bring a lot here. We are grateful to having you. Everybody in the chat, we just want to remind you one more thing before we go. You are awesome. You are amazing. You are the best. And remember, you have greatness inside of you. Have a great night. See you at 9 o'clock p.m. Thank you, Enortap. Appreciate a lot.
Good night, Coach.
What if I lose all control and take a step out into the unknown?
See you. Yes, Adam. 8 o'clock.
What do I know? What's going on now? Is this another breakdown? You and me, should I let go? I do really want to know what's going on now. Is this another breakdown? You and me, should I say so? We're just putting on a show. What do I know? I need to open my eyes and get a touch of that reality. Don't want another surprise.